Mathis, and then city council members. We also have Indian River County commissioners who are here with us, so thank you for coming. We also have folks from all the way down in Monroe County because we're doing a lot of different awards today. So we have one of the commissioners from Monroe County, Michelle Coldiron, and then the county administrator, Roman Gastesi. So I want to thank you guys for being here, and we're going to continue to support a lot of infrastructure investments in the state of Florida. As you might have seen, the state is growing in population, and so we need to make sure that we're doing things that are going to keep up with that, and we're doing that in a variety of ways, transportation, logistics, resilience, you name it. So we'll be talking about some of that today, but also just if you look at, and Dane and I are getting some latest economic numbers. A lot of people have seen a lot of the stuff that's happened over the past year in Florida, and actually as we look through the numbers and get revisions, we're going to be able to report it has been even better than what was reported, and so we look forward to be able to making that announcement very, very soon, and then keeping the momentum going. Since I became governor in 2019, business formations in Florida are up 61%, and if you compare us in 2021, we led the nation far and away when new business formations, and some of these states like California are like twice our size, yet we still had way, way more business formations than even California. And 2021, we announced last week, Florida set its all-time record for domestic visitation. We've set tourism record, and that's blowing away pre-COVID numbers for domestic visitation. And the thing about it is just, that affects family restaurants, it affects other small businesses, it affects people's jobs. And had we done what some people said we should do and be like some of these lockdown states, that would not have happened. People were coming to Florida because they knew that they would be able to enjoy a vacation, be free. And the number of people that write in from Canada and some of the other states that were very restrictive, they appreciate having Florida as a refuge. So yes, people have moved here, of course, but I think if you look at the visitation, we set the record for a reason because we're a free state and we want people to come down here and enjoy themselves. So we're going to continue to do that. We like the momentum that we have, and we're going to do. Now, if you look, the inflation that we're seeing really over the last year has really, really been problematic. We see it in the energy sector. We see it in food and household staples. You see it in automobiles. I mean, you think about like used cars. Whoever thought a used car would be an appreciating asset, and yet it's hard to even buy a used car. So you're seeing this, and they say the inflation's 7.5%. It's much more than that. You look at when they're building homes now, how much more expensive it is to build than it was just 18 months ago. So this is something that was dismissed 7, 8, 9 months ago by the powers that be in Washington, but I think we're seeing, this is really, really significant. And I think it's the biggest economic problem that the United States faces, to have really high, persistent inflation. And it does not, we're doing all we can here in Florida. We're pushing against the tide. We've been pushing against the tide for a while, and we'll continue to do that. But man, to be printing trillions of dollars in the midst of inflation, these were big mistakes that were made last year. I'm not convinced that they're going to correct course up in D.C. Maybe we'll hear something tomorrow night that will suggest that. But we're going to continue to do what we can here in Florida. Well, think about it. I mean, in Florida, the legislature's in there doing the budget. We have a record surplus in Florida in terms of the money that we have. And that's because we spend very reasonably and conservatively. We make an impact on what we're doing. I mean, we've done more since I've been governor on things like water quality, our water infrastructure, all these things that are very important to the state as a whole, but we're doing those in a way that are very sustainable fiscally. That's the opposite of what they're doing in Washington, D.C. You look at all the problems with the supply chain. Florida has stepped up with our ports. We have more ships that have come in since we made a big push about this a few months ago. The amount of cargo is up pretty significantly, and we're ready to announce even some more great relocations, which I'll be doing in the next couple weeks. So we're trying to be part of the solution to this. You don't want to see ships just sitting off the side of the harbor somewhere, whether it's in Savannah or Los Angeles. So Florida has really stepped up. We've also stepped up to help in-demand fields like truck driving. You look to think people just kind of take it for granted what these truckers do, but I'll tell you, if you don't have enough people, these goods don't get to market. So we've had a huge expansion in opportunities to earn commercial driver's license in the state of Florida. People that are doing that, they're giving these new truck drivers signing bonuses of like $15,000. So it's a great opportunity for people, but it's also something to have the economy work. You've got to have some of these really critical positions that are filled. So I think we've stepped up to meet really significant needs in the economy better than any state, and we're going to continue to do that. Today we're here to be able to make some great awards for here in Indian River County, also the Monroe and Broward, and then we're going to do much more. I mean, I've got more infrastructure money coming in the budget. We're going to be back here. We're going to be in other communities to make sure that we continue to stay ahead of this. So in Indian River County, we are going to be awarding today to the city of Fellsmere $750,000 through our Rural Infrastructure Fund to accommodate new industrial business by extending the sewer systems at the Commerce Park. And it's very important if you want to be able to bring in new manufacturing and industrial capacity. So we're proud of that, and we think it's going to make a big difference. You know, Broward County, we didn't have anyone come up for them, but they are happy to know that we're doing 2 awards for $800,000 through our CDBG grant program to provide rental assistance and increase internet access in Pompano Beach and the city of Sunrise. This will help both with employment and education in those communities. And then Monroe County, the wonderful Florida Keys, we're awarding $2.9 million for improvements to Rawls Waterfront Park in Key Largo, which will include improvements to parking, restrooms, sidewalks, and wireless public internet access. I mean, the Keys have been absolutely on fire over the last year and a half. People want to go down there, and the property values are very much going up because people are willing to pay a premium to live in a very unique part of Florida. But really everything in Florida is great, including here in Indian River County. So we're excited about being here. I'm going to present these checks, so we'll do the Fellsmere. So Mayor, if you want to come up here and accept this, we'll do the photo. Make good use of this.
Yes.
All right.
We will.
Good. All right, congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead and take it.
All right. Will we take
All right.
that? Will we take that at the bank?
Hey, Mike. All right, Monroe, you guys want to come up here? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this will be helpful.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so we will hear from some of our recipients here. So who do we got first? City of Fellsmere, Mark, you want to come up?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you. First, on behalf of Mayor Tyson and our city council, I want to thank Governor DeSantis for this award and also for coming here personally to present this. To me, it reflects Governor's commitment to rural America and jobs growth across Florida, and we're quite appreciative of that. I firmly believe that with this project, we'll be able to return multiple times over this initial investment to the state of Florida, Indian River County, and the city of Fellsmere through jobs growth and creation. To start with, we have 2 businesses at Headwaters Commerce Park that are struggling without sewer. In fact, without sewer, they may close and have to relocate. With this particular grant, we actually can save these businesses and create an opportunity for growth for them. These 2 businesses alone will bring close to 100 jobs to Fellsmere, which is quite impressive for a town of 5,000 people. In addition to that, it opens up a 1,000-acre industrial park to uses that would not be able to locate without central sewer. Uses from manufacturing to wholesale, distribution, to corporate headquarters, flight training, a lot of uses that have come to us for location, but we've unfortunately been unable to serve them. So with this grant, I'd like to close by saying, Governor would always say that Florida is open for business. Well, with this grant now, Fellsmere can now be open for business. So, thank you.
Monroe County.
Thank you. Michelle Coldiron, County Commissioner in the fabulous Florida Keys, and I just want to be brief and say our appreciation to Governor DeSantis, who, Even though we might be the southernmost county in the state of Florida, he never forgets us. His staff never forget us. They've been great supporters of ours. This money we're going to use for Rowles Park, which will help us make it a nice staging area for any other emergencies that might roll our way. And Governor DeSantis, I wish you the best and invite you to come back down to the Florida Keys as soon as possible.
All right, we've got it on the agenda. We'll be back. Okay, Dane Eagle, DEO.
Dane Eagle, Secretary of Department of Economic Opportunity, and I get to help carry the checks, which has got to be one of the best jobs in state government. But I want to thank the governor for his continued commitment to our local communities. A lot of the money that we are awarding today are CDBG funds that were administered during the Trump administration. Take time to get a lot of these large-scale infrastructure funds out. So we've been working with our local communities at the direction of the governor to figure out where the true needs are, and are so happy to make these announcements today. And then the announcement we're making here in Fellsmere, $750,000, is from the Rural Infrastructure Fund, which is a state fund that we get about $5 million a year, and we're very focused through the governor's leadership and direction on our rural communities. So much so that the governor's asked the legislature to fund that at $105 million this upcoming year. $5 million doesn't go a long way in a big state like this. So talk about putting the money where your mouth is. $105 million, we'd be able to do a lot of good. So if you know any legislators, give them a call. I know they're going to conferencing this week, and we're working closely with them. But we look forward to coming back and doing more. Thank you, Governor, for your leadership. Thank you.
Yep. And so we are, as Dane said, we're asking for $100 million for Rural Infrastructure Fund. The great stuff about this is that these awards really go a long way. I mean, you're talking about the award today. If you put that in different parts of like Miami, that may not go as far. But here it really is meeting a critical need and is going to be the difference between maintaining business or not. And so we see opportunities for that up and down the state. It's a way through Dane's department you could be very nimble and work with communities constructively from the bottom up to meet needs. We've also asked for $100 million for the Governor's Job Growth Grant Fund. This is something that has been funded anywhere from 25 to 85 million over the years. I actually, when COVID first hit in 2020, for our 2020-21 budget, I had it in the budget and had to veto it line item because I had to cut a lot of expenses because it was uncertain times. We were able to get that in this year and really have been able to make a lot of good use. So this is stuff where if you have an industrial park that they need a road to connect or they need some of this underlying infrastructure that could be the difference between attracting more businesses, maintaining businesses or not, we can then meet that need. If you have job training opportunities like our commercial driver's license programs where we're working with state colleges to be able to expand access to this all across the state. We have this fund, we're able to go and work with folks. And then there's other infrastructure that are asked by local. They will put in a match and we'll match it. And so if we put in a couple million, local puts in a couple million, you can start to do some really good things with that. So we're asking for that again, working with the legislature on that. And then we also are asking for another $100 million for the Workforce Development Capitalization Incentive Grant. And again, really making sure that we're dedicated to skills-based education across the board. Our public university system now in Florida is ranked #1 in the country by U.S. News and World Report. We're proud of that. I'm proud of it because we don't let them raise tuition, so you can actually get college education in Florida if you're a Florida resident without going into the poorhouse. I think it's very important that that's available. In some of these places where you end up $100,000, $150,000 in debt, that's a real significant millstone. If you're an MIT engineer, you'll probably figure it out. If you have a degree in zombie studies from like a 4th-tier university and you end up with a job you could have at a high school, that's not really what we're looking for. So we are very much insistent to say there are multiple pathways to success. And if you look at education's not just about job opportunities. There's a value in doing it in of itself, and I agree with that. But if you look at the opportunities right now, people that have certain skills that are in high demand, talked about truck driving, welding, HVAC, all these things, you're making really good money right away. You also have opportunities for entrepreneurship because if you end up in electrical, you'll make pretty good money. You can start your own small business, especially with the growing population. All of that stuff is going to be in high demand. So we just want people to know that you're not better or worse than anyone because you went to college or did career education. All these things can be positive pathways, and we want people to be able to do what is best for them and gives them the most opportunities. Our goal when I became governor, we were at the bottom half of states for workforce education to be #1 by 2030. We're ahead of that goal. We've moved up considerably, and we're going to continue to put the pedal on the metal, and a lot of what we're asking the legislature to do will help us achieve that goal. So it's great to be here and be happy to take some questions.
What are your thoughts on the condo inspection bill, and if it passes, would you sign it?